It's time now for another episode of DCU Rumors! And here we are at Comic Book News that collects it all for us. So, James Gunn shoots down Aaron Paul Booster Gold and DCU Rumors. Well, and this would be one of the, and other DCU rumors. So anyway, there's some mock-up artwork somebody did. Was it Boss Logic or somebody like that? Aaron Paul Booster Gold AI art. Oh, well, just put it in the good old AI and it'll make it for you. So anyway, there you go. That's, it looks like more of like a rip-off Flash mask, you know? Booster Gold wears goggles. They're not blue eye makeup or anything. But anyway, hadn't heard this rumor at all, and now it's already shot down because, yeah, somebody posted it, I guess, on Twitter or whatever, and he responds, and Gunn said, "Zero truth to that. I like Aaron a lot personally and professionally. But we've never discussed this, and the rest of it is also 100% made up." So what was made up? I recently learned something about Booster Gold. Aaron Paul has been in talks to star in the series, and it seems pretty likely that he will get the part. They are also hoping for him to cameo in the Blue Beetle. But that part sounds more like wishful thinking. Yeah, Blue Beetle's not going to have any cameos. I'd heard a rumor, and of course these rumors that there was a scene where there's dialogue discussing other superheroes, most notably the Flash and Supergirl. But thanks to all the changes, if it was shot, it's been cut out. So Blue Beetle, and as Gunn has said that it would fit nicely into the DCU going forward, is because even though technically, just in the chronology of it all, as it's coming out this year, was originally intended to be a DCEU film, but DCEU is over. Aquaman will be the final one. And that's that. And so, but since it's such a standalone type story, you don't really need to do much. And so if it does well, they can simply get ready to do Blue Beetle 2 as part of the DCU. And maybe fit in Booster Gold there. But the Booster Gold business was between Booster Gold and Ted Kord. And it looks like Ted Kord's already dead. Yeah, his name was Ted. And one day he was dead, yo-yo. And, or maybe he's hidden somewhere or something. Dan Garrett most likely is definitely dead. And going forward, Jaime Reyes is Blue Beetle. So, you know, that's how they'll do that. So anyway, hey, there's other stuff. A fan press, so there's no truth to it, but I thought Peacemaker Season 2 was coming out. There's no truth to all of those things being in Chapter 1. It's totally made up. PMS 2 is coming out. Oh, Peacemaker Season 2. After Legacy, the Superman film. So, here was the deal. Here's some of the stuff I heard. Part of Chapter 1. Animal Man, Lobo, Justice League, New Frontier, Superman versus the Authority. Boy, I hope that one's not true, but it likely is in some form or fashion. Just not a part of Chapter 1. Peacemaker Season 2, Mr. Terrific. And he responded, no. So, there you go. There's no truth to it, but I thought Peacemaker. Yes, there's no truth to it. Yeah, Peacemaker 2 will be coming later. Waller will be the series that he devotes attention to as, you know, part of that story. And then Peacemaker Season 2 would eventually follow up what happens there. So, what about Raka Raka and DC? Well, Raka Raka, which is a popular Australian YouTube channel created and run by twin filmmaker brothers Danny and Michael Filippo, stated that they turned down a DC project. However, Gunn is stating he wasn't involved and doesn't know anything about it. So there they are saying, hey, we were going to do something, but we decided to do our own thing or something. So the Filippos met with some execs and maybe discussed the possibility of something, but they never met me and Peter, and DC never offered them a project. Maybe they turned down pitching on something. So perhaps this was something that predated the deal being sealed for Gunn and Peter being in charge and that kind of thing. So a lot of that stuff would be up in the air. And so there's no deal with them. But there's been disturbing rumblings that they're having a hard time getting top directors to come in on this. obviously the big one was Ben Affleck saying, "Yeah, I have no interest in this whatsoever," which kind of poured water on how James Gunn described it. Saying, "Hey, he wants to direct, and we want him to direct." And boy, he sounded like a pretty solid no on that, especially describing after seeing what they're doing. Yeah, I'm not interested. So, my guess at best. Now, him personally, it might be a little more of just how, that there might have been a promise of Batman being in the way he wanted to do it, and then it gets pulled away from him again, and he's all right. That's enough. It could be something along those lines, but it's also true of Marvel as well, having trouble getting directors to come in because they have difficulty with this whole shared universe aspect to it, where you can only go so far here and there with your character and storylines because it'll step on the toes of this other ongoing arc and that kind of thing. I think it's a bit much of crybabyism, some of that, but a lot of bridges may have been burnt behind the scenes and just things getting nasty over that. But nevertheless, that could be a big problem for people just like, ugh, I don't want to deal with that. I just want to do a movie and not be bothered with it. It seems like there's a lot of ways to maneuver that, because a lot of this stuff with Marvel, it was just in-credit teasers and stuff, But again, if you're going to have a villain blow up the Empire State Building or something like that, and then the other guy's doing a movie where Spider-Man climbs it, and then he's like, oh, wait, oh, damn it. Yeah, that kind of thing. But anyway, so, that's it. Okay, well, Aaron Paul will not be Booster Gold, and these guys are not doing a DC project. At least, not yet. So there you go. James Gunn continues to frequent Twitter and deal with this, but it tends to shut this down rather quickly, and you can move on to something else. So, but the deal is, he's already announced there will be a Booster Gold series, and a lot of people, and sort of myself included, could see Chris Pratt playing the role. He certainly, because that's basically Star-Lord again, which is why I thought maybe he would be more inclined to take on Hal Jordan. And if they're still pursuing this Hal Jordan as a mentor to Jon Stewart, an older man playing that role would fit. And unless, of course, they are talking still to Tom Cruise, because he met with Zaslav, got to see the Flash film and said it's great, all that. I don't know, but that would probably be better, because yes, Chris Pratt would have been perfect for Booster Gold, but he got Star-Lord instead. And I think a younger man would be better in the role. And Aaron Paul, I think, is probably about the same age as Chris Pratt. So I don't know why his name came up, but maybe it's some other project. Might not even be DC related. But these things happen. But it's not going to be him as Booster Gold. If they expanded on this and the Booster Gold series had the Ted Kord Blue Beetle in it, and it was set at an earlier time and they kind of jumped around in time throughout their DCU, that would be kind of interesting, And then you can have all the buddy type scenario of the idiot superheroes, because that's pretty much what it's been, Booster Gold and Blue Beetle did comedy acts, although some serious things did take place. Ultimately, Blue Beetle being killed. But they brought him back. Well, anyway, they could do that, and then, Jaime Reyes is the Blue Beetle for the movies and stuff like that, Maybe even poor Dan Garrett, but I don't know, I'd rather doubt that. Anyway, there you go. There's a Booster Gold, just not this one.